as the market is balancing and it's becoming more and more in favor of not only the sellers, but also the buyers as well. We're starting to see an emergence of closing cost credits. And basically, I wanted to talk with you for an explanation to our sellers and our buyers of what these closing cost credits are, number one. And then number two, what type of items can qualify for a closing cost credit?
So what happens is the purchase price is increased for a seller after a number has been determined. And then that closing cost is credit, whatever the amount is rolled in to the purchase price to basically give a little more of an ability to finance some of the closing costs that a buyer has. Mm-hmm. So these closing costs can vary. They're prepaids, like interest is prepaid, insurance is prepaid. There's escrows where you can like taxes and insurance and mortgage insurance sometimes too. These are things that are costs that are incurred anytime a buyer gets financing from a lender. So when you see that kind of situation, then almost always a buyer will have these types of closing costs, and these are the types of closing costs that would be rolled into this closing cost credit. So attorney's fees can be part of it, or a closing fee could be part of it. I believe even title insurance can be part of it. So it just depends on the loan program typically, and what will not be allowed. Sometimes you can't use it all. So if you can't use all the credit, then because you're capped at a certain minimum investment that the buyer needs to make into the transaction, then you can't. But we do our best to try to squeeze in every penny that we can.
Actually, I've done the math here in MLS. Single family homes over the past 90 days that have sold between 150,000 and 700,000, 21% of buyers partook in closing cost credits, when a few months back that number was near zero. So this is something that sellers, in addition to buyers, need to be well aware of.
I think it's important for a seller these days to understand that it is taking longer to sell your home, and there is more there's pressure on the pricing because of the increased interest rates. So you want to make it as easy for a potential buyer to purchase your property. And that being said, I know, like you just said, a few months ago, rates were low and demand was high. Things have changed a little bit now, so it is well worth it for you to explore a credit, give a credit. It's not going to hurt you because the credit is rolling into into the sales price, dollar for dollar of the amount that's being requested. So, but your bottom line sales price is still going to be the same. So it's worth it to a buyer, and it helps them out.